Hello and welcome to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us for another segment. In this segment, we'll be speaking with Tracy Curley, the CEO of iSpecimen. She's joining us to talk about medical research, biospecimens. She's going to talk about how her company connects researchers with the specimens that they need. Welcome to Health Professional Radio, Tracy Curley. Thank you for taking the time this morning.
Thank you, Neil. Pleasure to be here.
Give us a look into your professional background and your role at iSpecimen and talk about the company and what it does.
So iSpecimen is a public technology company in the life science space. We connect with our proprietary marketplace platform researchers to suppliers of human biospecimens. And we have three different what we call internally lines of business of specimens that we provide to researchers. And they are in the categories of remnant, bank, and prospective. Remnant is exactly what you would think it is you go to a doctor and they order labs for you, and it's the leftover from the lab. Banked biospecimens are from biorepositories where somebody thought a remnant was of value and decided to preserve it and store it and bank it. And then prospective is a specimen that doesn't exist in the world when a researcher comes to us with their criteria. It's a very bespoke type of thing, and with precision medicine, it is the request that has the most criteria, the most data that they want. It might be longitudinal, and like it might be a 2-year study, and we have to be collecting, for 2 years, if you will. And all of those, we use our proprietary marketplace platform to, in essence, accelerate scientific discovery.
With as much research that goes on a daily, yearly basis, the common person wouldn't think that there was a problem with obtaining the specimens that these researchers need to do their work. But apparently there are many bottlenecks, I understand.
Yes. So every day is very expensive in the research process. Time truly is money. And when successfully implemented, an online marketplace contributes to a highly efficient supply chain that offers many advantages both for in our case, researchers and suppliers, including lower costs, reduced procurement timeframes, increased compliance, increased revenue for our suppliers, increased access to larger and growing supplier network for our customers, reduced risks, especially in the area of compliance, which I just mentioned. And so what happens without a marketplace platform is researchers have to go out into the industry and find suppliers for what they need. And they might have to reach out to multiple suppliers. And those multiple suppliers may not even have what they need. And so the beauty of our marketplace platform is you come to us and we find the suppliers for you. And we do all the compliance and the project management for you to make sure on both the supplier and the customer side, we're a matchmaker. Our marketplace accelerates by assisting researchers to find the specimens and the data that they need to power their research. And it, benefits our providers in our network because they can monetize their assets, their specimens, while making a difference in scientific research. It's a thing of beauty.
What about the rare disease, the rare condition researchers? Are there more complications with brand new research when it comes to finding suppliers as opposed to cancer research that seems to be going on each and every second?
Well, I would even say that with cancer research, because of precision medicine, researchers are looking for more specific criteria than they have historically. And that's where, to answer your question, we can go in two ways. Our prospective specimens, our prospective line of business, is to address those more complicated requests. It's a much more bespoke specimen that a researcher is asking for. And we have suppliers in our network, very specific suppliers in our network, that are focused on providing us with perspective. You know, it might be a research hospital, and they're seeing all kinds of patients, and therefore they have all kinds of access to patients and specimens, donors, data, and so forth, which is, you know, it's a great thing. So we've got that. And then we just launched the end of August our sequencing initiative, which really assists us in on the research front. We've got, you know, when a researcher is doing cancer research, they're looking at the genetic signatures of cancer in tumor tissues, and this is important information for them to develop new treatments and diagnostics. And our new cancer sequencing procurement program provides cancer researchers with access to mutation-characterized FFPE blocks, which stands for formalin-6 paraffin-embedded cancer tumor tissues, without requiring that they manage the risk and resource-intense course of overseeing the sequencing process. And additionally, not only does this program offer limitless on-demand access to cases for our researchers, it also allows our researchers to customize future FFPE tissue requests, which we're pretty excited about. And so we're really focused on, you know, making sure that with our new offering that cancer researchers can advance their work by efficiently accessing highly sought-after tumor tissues online using our marketplace platform.
When it comes to learning institutions, universities, colleges that are teaching protocols and research methods as opposed to established research laboratories and institutions that aren't institutions of higher learning, does iSpecimen support them as well and in the same way?
Yes, we do. That's really a very interesting question, because a lot of these research hospitals have their own biorepositories where they're storing, and they also have access to patients from labs and so forth. But there are situations where the researchers at those institutions are doing work and they're having trouble even within their own organization to find the right specimens for their research. And they come to us and we support them just like we support any other customer. Absolutely.
What's next for iSpecimen as far as your pipeline is concerned for the next couple years or so?
Sure. So I did mention our sequencing initiative, which, you know, is focused on genetically sequencing tumor tissues. It's pretty fantastic. It's looking at more than 160 key markers and the RNA fusion details associated with them. And this line of business is just launched, but is growing quickly. We're also looking to be better matchmakers. We've announced recently a fair number of initiatives on our marketplace platform. So we expect to see new and easier ways for researchers to search for and acquire specimens. And we continue to ingest and generate more data. There are additional business opportunities to leverage this on our platform and continue to evolve the iSpecimen marketplace using a lot of modern approaches such as robotic process automation and artificial intelligence, machine learning techniques to further improve the efficiencies and algorithms and effectiveness of the platform and to enhance the value of the data. And our ability to leverage the network effects of our marketplace platform will enable us to realize increasing returns on our investments, our technology investments, and expand into adjacent markets such as clinical trial patient recruitment, data as a product, and even software as a service. So it's a pretty exciting time for us over the next 3 to 5 years.
Give us a website where our listeners can learn much more about iSpecimen.
Yeah, it's www.iSpecimen.com, and it's all lowercase.
I appreciate your time this morning, Tracy. Thank you so much for joining us here on Health Professional Radio, and hopefully you'll return for another conversation.
I would like that, Neil. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You as well.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Tracy Curley. Audio copies of this program are available at healthprofessionalradio.com.au, also at Anchor, Spotify, and be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Health Professional Radio.